What is poppin', guys? Welcome back to Today's Tech with Landon, where I bring you guys a brand new perspective on your favorite pieces of tech. Now, if you're new, definitely consider subscribing. All right, so it's been almost 3 months since the release of the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3, and I've had ample time to really daily drive and just kind of take a deep dive and see exactly what this smartwatch is made of, and it really doesn't disappoint. Now, before I jump into it, I just want to thank all 1,800 plus subscribers for tuning in and subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate it. All right, so Galaxy Watch 3 is the third flagship in Samsung's rebranded smartwatch lineup. The original was released 2 years ago, and Samsung is considering the Galaxy Watch Active 2 the second iteration, assumingly so that people know that the Galaxy Watch 3 is the newest. And Samsung has really turned a corner since their old Gear wearable lineup, which really kind of set the stage for the entire smartwatch category. And over time, Samsung has really had to pick and choose which features to add and take away to really put out the best product at that point in time. And of course, sometimes they swing and miss, and other times they just knock it out of the park. So the watch face is kind of like the home base, the starting point for your interaction with the watch. So having so many complications available has really just increased my daily productivity. Whether it's checking to see how hot it is here in Arizona without having to navigate to the weather widget, or easier access to reminders, or even just quick access to a workout that I do regularly. And if you take a look, with the digital dashboard watch face, you can have up to 5 complications with up to 44 options to choose from. But I also rock with the My Style watch face, which creates 8 faces based on the colors in a picture that you take. Ultimately though, there's a gazillion options to choose from between the pre-installed watch faces and the huge Galaxy Store collection. So the customization really keeps Galaxy Watch 3 feeling nice and fresh. And I gotta show you this weather center watch face. This is really dope. You get animations based on the weather outside, and instead of numbers on the clock, you see the temperature that it's supposed to be at those times. So super dope. And the always on mode adds another level of convenience when you can just glance over without having to do the obvious wrist motion. A complaint of mine from previous Samsung watches was the lack of true always-on faces, but Samsung has definitely delivered by adding just a little bit more customization and convenience. But that leads me to my experience with battery life. So with the addition of the super extensive watch face customization and just the sheer number of watch faces, for the first time I'm actually using the always on mode at all times, just so I can always see my complications and just a hint of the wallpaper. Now, because of that, Galaxy Watch 3 is only good for about 1 day with me. After 24 hours, we're looking at about 40%. Now, I do wear it throughout the night for the sleep tracking. So when I wake up, that's when it's at about 40%. And then I just charge it while I'm getting ready in the morning. And that usually gets me closer to 100%, and then same thing the next day. But really, I'm sure it just came down to this. Either we can, keep a slimmer profile and, have 1 to 2 day battery life, or, make a thicker device and extend that battery life. And me personally, I know I'd much rather have a thinner profile and deal with charging it on a daily basis. It's really not that big of a deal. It's not like I wear it for the full 24 hours. There is some downtime, like I said, when I'm getting ready in the morning. And so that's a perfect time for me to charge it. So for me personally, I think it's worth having the always on mode, always on, as opposed to, extending the battery life just an extra day. Maybe it's not that big of a deal for me. But do keep in mind, with always on mode off, you can expect, closer to 2 days, probably at least 2 days battery life. But worst case scenario, if you're in a pinch, you can always give it a quick top up using reverse wireless charging. But if you just charge it every day while you get ready, you can just avoid that altogether. Okay, so I'm already getting used to the physical bezel again after the Galaxy Watch Active 2's touch bezel. Partly because I turned off touch wake up, forcing me to have to use the bezel, which is just so pleasant to use. It's just so well crafted, and the amount of torque that it takes to rotate the bezel is just enough, keeping it feeling premium but not too stiff. It's hands down better than the touch bezel, and it's such a natural reaction to use it. And Tizen is optimized to really take advantage of the hardware with with the near perfect round display operating system. I'm curious to use the Apple Watch Series 6 and get a feel for that rectangular display for the first time, so definitely stay tuned for that. But what also makes Galaxy Watch 3 so ideal for me is the display. Like the size and the brightness of it, it makes those quick interactions seamless inside or outside, so you don't even have to pull out your phone as much. And Galaxy Watch 3 is significantly lighter than the first, so I really don't even notice it's there. And of course, this leather band has held up over the hundreds of times, probably thousands of times that I've washed my hands since I got it, and it matches the overall premium design language. So definitely gets an A+ on design, fit, and finish. I think it's classy enough to wear when you're dressed up going to work, but at the same time, it's also low profile enough for you to wear it to the gym, and that's what makes it just so versatile. But I do want to add in there that I do not understand Samsung's product strategy. Hear me out. So they dropped this new Mystic Bronze color, and it's fantastic, right? When it leaked, I immediately said, hell yeah, I'm gonna get a Mystic Bronze watch. I'm gonna get the Mystic Bronze Note and the Mystic Bronze Buds. Except the Mystic Bronze color is only available for the 41mm variant, and it also comes with a pink band, almost solidifying the fact that it's geared a little bit towards women. How does that make sense? Did they not think that someone would want to match with the 45mm variant? So for me, a huge opportunity for Samsung lies in their color options and their accessory options, which is something that Apple just absolutely excels in. Now, the only other gripe that I have with the Galaxy Watch 3 is the lack of a full app ecosystem. First of all, there's very few third-party apps available, like Microsoft Outlook or Spotify and a few others, but it's not the full-fledged app ecosystem you can expect with Wear OS from Google or Watch OS from Apple. There's almost no integration with Google or Google Apps, which is the only thing that makes Galaxy Watch 3 feel like a slightly incomplete smartwatch. Like not even Google Maps. But when you think about it, it's been that way the entire time, and Samsung's watches are the top Android pick. So Samsung does a good job of making it work, and it really shouldn't stop you from buying a Galaxy Watch. Natively, you get Samsung Pay, reminders, and Samsung Health, which probably turn out to be the 3 most used apps. So again, not a total deal breaker, but definitely an area of opportunity. And they also make up for it in terms of the features that you get as well. So of course you get Samsung Pay's NFC payment ability, which I honestly set up, but I don't use. It's kind of an awkward motion, and I usually already have my phone out. But now Samsung is finally starting to feel like a more complete ecosystem, particularly with the addition of SmartThings Find. So you can trace pretty much all your Samsung gear, in this case the watch, and if you happen to misplace it. And then there's the smaller but just as crucial features like good night mode, so you have no interruptions while you sleep, or theater mode, so you have no interruptions during a movie or maybe a meeting for that matter. You've got your quick toggles at the top, shortcuts in the home button, and of course sleep tracking with an all-new algorithm generated sleep score. So the list of useful features, really just goes on. One of my favorites is the privacy blur, shielding your screen from any prying eyes. So clearly Galaxy Watch 3 is designed for productivity from the hardware all the way to the software, which is definitely something that has been building up over the course of years. From those early Samsung Gear days and those formative years that gave Samsung a huge lead over every other Android OEM. Now, since I'm currently using both the Z Fold 2 and Note 20 Ultra, I do wish there was a simpler way to pair the watch with a new phone. As it currently stands, I literally have to wipe the watch every single time, which is really not a big deal because I just restore the backup. But at the same time, it's usually like a 5 to 10 minute process, when I wish I could just make sure that it stays paired to those 2 devices at all times. So whichever one I pick up that day, I'm good to go. Now that productivity focus that I just mentioned extends right on to Samsung Health and the area of health and wellness tracking, where Samsung did not hold back. They finally made due on their promise of electrocardiogram measurements and fall detection. the former having been finally approved by the FDA, but they've also added blood oxygen measurements just as the Apple Watch has. So it's packed with the latest and greatest in terms of sensors and measurements, but combining that with the automatic workout tracking and the extensive revamp of the Samsung Health app this year, it's becoming a bit easier to get into health and fitness and maintain that lifestyle. And you can clearly see that's what Samsung is going for with Galaxy Watch 3. So there's tons of workouts and programs that were built into Samsung Health earlier this year. And if you have a newer Samsung TV, you can do workouts on the TV with everything tracked through the watch. And if you've been paying any attention to Apple and their new Fitness Plus service, that's clearly the new industry focus. A complete health and fitness companion on your wrist, and Samsung is doing an excellent job fulfilling that need in the market. It'll be really crazy to see what Samsung can do in the coming years to really innovate in the way of health and fitness tracking. So at the end of the day, when you compile all this information, you might be thinking like, well, damn, this sounds like the best smartwatch out there. Well, I think it's really close, but the fact remains that the app ecosystem is really a bit lackluster, and that's the only thing I think that's holding it back from overtaking Apple for that top smartwatch spot. But despite all of that, Galaxy Watch 3 is truly a fantastic smartwatch. From the impeccable and versatile design to the countless watch face customizations and all of the health and fitness tracking capabilities and features. Galaxy Watch 3 serves a lot of purposes and a variety of needs. It's not just for a specific set of people, and I think a lot of different demographics can get real value out of this device. So it's going to be really interesting to see where Samsung goes and how they innovate from here. And if you want my recommendation, I think at a starting price of $399, Galaxy Watch 3 is definitely worth it. It really creates a way for you to join the Samsung ecosystem, and I honestly think that's a place you want to be right now. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching until the end. Like I said earlier, I really do appreciate it. And if you found this video helpful, then definitely drop a like, leave a comment, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you guys can be the first to know when I'm dropping a brand new perspective on today's latest and greatest pieces of tech. Alrighty guys, that's all for now. Stay safe out there. Peace and love.